I just recorded a 30-minute video and the microphone didn't work at all. So that was really frustrating. It's forced me to really look at maybe what was being said, how I could present it different. I have used my tarot cards to ask Spirit, did you have anything to do with that? Because I'm quite pissed. And I got the Emperor card, which was quite evident that, yeah. And then I asked, is it because what the video was about? Someone had left a negative comment on my video on one of my videos, and I thought it was quite spiteful. Like, there was no need for it. I don't know why people even go out their way to be like negative like that. It's just if you're miserable in life, you don't have to project it everywhere else. I always call it like leaving a trail of shit around. And the real problem with that is it's hard to clean it up. So if you are entirely negative online and you leave really horrible comments, then that will stay with you. So even if you build your platform up, you get viewers on your channel, you do good things in life. There's still this trail that leads back to you, because anything can happen at any moment. Other people's videos can go viral. Videos can get seen years later. So really, it's about being accountable now. Just because you're unhappy now doesn't mean you'll be unhappy forever. Or hopefully you won't. But it's like, be kind. You don't have to be hateful. We can choose to be kind to one another. Now, that doesn't mean you can't call people out and you can't talk about certain things, but it's doing it in a way that's respectful, I think. Or at least there's a reason to it. Don't have to be spiteful. Like, if I don't like content, guess what I do? I find content I like. I don't go around saying this is crap. It's like going for your TV channel and shouting at it every time you don't like something. And it's like, why don't you just change the channel? Just change the channel. So yeah, for the cards I asked, obviously, did they stop my microphone? And he's like, yeah, well, that's pissed me off because that was a good video. Then I said, is it because you didn't want that person being tagged, like you've been spoken about? Because I wasn't really horrible. I didn't do it in a really horrible way, but it was calling them out on their comment and it did go through their channel slightly, but I wasn't doing it in a really hateful way. I thought it was quite respectful. And then I got the tower cards. So I was like, okay. Because the reality is, I even said it in the video that I did that got muted. The whole thing's muted. I can't even recover it because literally the microphone didn't even go on. Even though it looks on to me now. It's just the software that's used. It's just a nightmare. It just didn't come on. And I had it on my other screen. So I didn't really look at the audio bar. So that's really frustrating. But again, if it's for a reason, what can I do about it? Trying to think what I was saying there now. But yeah, anyway, so a lot of time, people who are miserable in their life, they will spread their misery. And a lot of time, it's almost like people expect too much from people. You expect other people to be perfect, and then you look at when you look in the mirror, are you perfect? That's the thing. So when I'm not going to say who the person is because clearly Spirit doesn't want that level of pressure on that person. I guess that's what that is. Either for their benefit, my benefit, both of our benefits. I don't know. So I'm not going to go on their channel, and I'm not going to say who the person is. But the reality is, it's easy to criticize people. It's harder to criticize ourselves. So don't be quick to criticize someone else's content if your content isn't really that great anyway, to be fair. But even if your content is great, it's like, why be negative? Why be horrible to people? It doesn't actually make sense. So, yeah, I think people should be more respectful of one another. I don't think there's any need to be mean. But yeah, I don't know what the goal is. Again, I can't really say what it is because Spirit obviously didn't want me talking about it specifically. So I'm trying to be really delicate. But I just thought, it was unnecessary. That's what it was. So I think when people are spiteful, like they go over the top. It wasn't that long. It was just a comment, but it's like I can't remember exactly what I don't want to say because it's so I'll ask because I'm asking after I've done this video. I'm asking Spirit again. Is it okay to release this? Because I did ask specifically. Should I record it again without reference to them? And then I got I think it's the 8 of Wands, which was like fast communication, clear communication. And then I said, like, just Is it okay to spirit like want me to do this? And I got judgment, which was really my decision. So I was like, oh, this doesn't help. But I want people to just take accountability of their actions and realize that it's not only other people's lives you're targeting really and affecting, you're actually affecting your own life, because when you're negative in nature, all you're doing is compounding your own misery. You're amplifying it. So all you're doing is like spending more time miserable. And it doesn't benefit us to be like that. And then second of all, why try to make other people feel sad? What's the point? What's the point of trying to make someone else feel bad about themselves, um, or something they're doing? Now, if it was constructive, the comment, if the comment was articulated and structured, and it wasn't trying to be spiteful, then you can take it on board, can't you? And you can say, oh, I can see where you're coming from. But it wasn't. And it wasn't very long. It's just the point is, I just thought about it and I just thought, there's people who are not as resilient. And I get really fed up with that when I get fed up in general when I see content creators in general, because I see some content creators who are just being themselves and they're trying, and you think, well, hope they, you can see where they can improve. But you're thinking, hopefully they stick at it and they will improve over time. But then there's also some content creators who are manufactured, they're artificial, they do everything for views, so they're unoriginal. And it gets really, really annoying. Now my computer's going funny. I don't know why it says overloading. It's literally all it's doing is recording a video. It's doing my head in. Yeah, anyway. So I don't think Spirit wants me talking about too much. Yeah, it's getting mental now. Look, it's like literally doing nothing other than recording this video. And yet I'm getting warnings at the bottom, which doesn't normally happen unless I'm gaming. Oh, that screen's going funny. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know if this video is really worth posting at this point, because why are they messing about with everything I'm creating right now? I'm getting fed up, because I often feel like that. I often feel like my hands are tied behind my back and you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, now the screen's getting funny. This is a joke. Derailing my message, or whether it derailed half an hour worth of message that I recorded. Was not happy at all with that. But yeah, I just think people need to be accountable. That's what I think. And I think too many people, they hide in the shadows, or they do something and they don't expect someone to target them back. So like where I did the video back, I thought that was fair. Again, I didn't do it in a spiteful way. But I think, you know what? If you want to leave a comment and you think you're going to hide there amongst the comment section, I'll put you front and center. I've got no problems doing that. You can be famous for being an asshole. We can play that game. Uh, this is probably going completely off topic, because I'm actually irritated. I'm more irritated by the fact that Spirit blocked my last video and now they're pissing around with this video. So it's actually putting me in a bit of a tempered mood at the moment. So at this point, the comment is irrelevant now. I'm more pissed off with Spirit than I am with the person. Because that really annoys me when I've put the time and effort to create the content and it's literally derailed completely. I can deal with someone's comment, forget that. Who cares what someone that's really negative and they're unhappy in their own life, who cares what they think of you? Until they find their own happiness and stop sitting in sadness, what's their opinion going to matter to someone else? It's like they're just trying to make you feel sad like them. It's like, what's the point? It's not going to matter. I don't feel sad. I like my content. Hence why I've made this video as well. I'll keep making content. It's irrelevant whether someone doesn't like it. I don't expect everyone to like it. But again, it's like, hopefully the algorithm will eventually find its audience. But at the same time, if you don't like something, just jog on and move on. It's not hard, is it? I get it on mine as well. I get my For You page on YouTube, TikTok, and all that. There's always videos you're not interested in or something you don't like, but guess what? You can just scroll. You can just scroll. You don't have to interact. No one says you have to be heard. You don't have to just go and be all horrible. Have a moment. Have a pause before you start spraying shit everywhere. Because like I said, that shit will spray out the walls and all sorts of stuff. You just left a trail of shit everywhere, and it's like, well, now good luck cleaning that up, because you don't know where you've been. The thing is, you don't know where you've been because you keep doing it. But other people know where you've been because they've seen it. Can't hide the mess. So it's accountability, isn't it? And I think that's the thing. The internet's too easy for people to be impulsive. And I think learn to not be impulsive, be accountable, be mature, be respectful, be adults. It's not hard to have decorum, is it? I don't think it is. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to do any more of this video. I could have gone on a little bit further. The video was really good, the one I did. This is a shit show because Spirit's irritating me. Because I think once we finish this video, I'm going to ask, should I post this? And they're probably going to say no. So it's just left me in a position where I don't know if they're going to say yes or no, but I'm leaning more towards no. So it's like, what's the point of talking? But it really annoys me that you get negative people in the world, like really spiteful, vindictive people, and it's always taboo to say something back. Like you could put them in their place, you could say something just as horrible back, but you think, you know what, I'm going to be the bigger person. I shouldn't even rise to that because it's so beneath me that I don't even need to acknowledge it. I'll just get on with my life because like, what does it matter? Why let someone bring you to that state of mind? But then sometimes you just think they need to learn the lesson though, surely. You can't just allow people free reign to just ruin people's lives. It's one thing to target me. I can handle that shit. But I worry more about the person who's like a bit more insecure. Because, when people make content, everyone starts from somewhere. No one's like does a master stroke of genius at the beginning without working towards it. A camera setup has to improve, the way we articulate, the way we present. Even if you're creative and you just do art or you do something, maybe you play a musical instrument. You have to. It's still the presentation matters, but also the skill in itself. And I can't help but think there'll be someone out there that's doing something and they're putting their craft to use, and they're just trying to share it with the world because they love it. Now, not everybody's going to appreciate it, and maybe they don't like it. But I think you can at least appreciate the fact that someone's doing something, though. And it took time and effort to do it. And I think at the bare minimum, you should at least appreciate that in people, that they've took the time to create content. Now, if you're not the target audience, it's okay. You don't have to be the target audience. You can just move on with your life. But let's not try and bring everybody down while we move on with our lives. Because people are creating. And I think while they're creating, that's a good thing. If they're original, of course. Like I said, I don't like these fakes. My thing's probably going to overload again because whenever time I talk about things. But yeah, I don't like people who are unoriginal and they just do trends all the time. They live their life by trends. Everything's artificial. It's all fake. It's all set up. And it's like, this is just so boring to me because it's copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, repeat for the next person, the next person, the next person. So yeah, I don't go around leaving comments on them videos though. Guess what? I just move on. I just think that does my head in. But it's an internal thought. I might say it out loud as well if I get really annoyed to myself. I don't go commenting on people's videos because I'm more mature than that. I have self-control. It's something people maybe should learn. Yeah, I mean, I've probably done a video in the past about comments, to be totally honest, but I'm not a fan of comments in general, to be totally honest, because I don't really need praise and I don't really need people's negative shit either. It's more, I do the content to help people see different aspects of life and reflect internal reflection on themselves and things, And I just think I like to create and move on, not like being held in place and having to keep going back to something that you've done, So that's just what I'm like. So it's not like I don't care about people's opinions if someone's got something constructive to say, but it's kind of like I just see an awful lot on social media, on every platform, and it was rife with YouTube for years, where people are just really hateful and disrespectful in comments to everybody's videos. It's almost like they feel entitled to have that appear, like they can just spread their shit everywhere. And it's like, you don't have that free. You think you have that right, but you really don't. You have a moment, but then people can block you and they can restrict your ability to engage with their content. We have the right to defend ourselves in whatever way we choose. We can confront you straight on, or we can say it's not worth the energy because you're entirely negative. You're not going to learn. You're probably uneducated. You can't even comprehend what the consequences are of all that. It's like you go into a deep conversation with someone, and sometimes if you're dealing with someone who doesn't even have the foresight or intelligence to comprehend what is being said or the consequences or the lack of empathy and the fact that it's good to have compassion for people to understand where they come from, because then if we can all be like that, then we can all help inspire each other, then we can all go after our dreams, goals, and we can all achieve something. But a lot of people just want everybody else to be miserable because they're miserable. Because guess what? Because they don't want to put the energy to get out of that situation. They don't want to improve their lives, and it's a threat to their illusion. Other people trying to get out of that situation themselves and trying to elevate, So when I see negative comments, I just think, how hurt are you? Like, how genuinely hurt are you? And they act like they're strong. They act like they're confident. It's like, no, you're not. Because confident people don't waste their time doing that shit. Better things to do. And they understand the grind. So people that are actually successful and they put hard work in, they can appreciate those that are trying to put in hard work as well. Just because they're not everybody's successful yet doesn't mean the time won't come. And that's the funny thing. If sort of someone's successful, of course there'll be people that are jealous, but then there'll also be people who all of a sudden they just swarm around, and it might be very well one of these people that was criticised at one point in life, they might be one of the first ones to come running when you're doing well. and expected you to give them like a handshake and shit. It's like, mate, you was an arsehole to me. I don't forget things. So again, it's accountability. And it's like, don't be that person. There's no need to be that person. You don't need to. You don't have to be an arsehole to prove you're cool, prove you're intelligent. It takes a lot of strength to have humility and be kind. So if you could be anything, be compassionate, isn't it? Isn't difficult. It really isn't. But anyway, like I say, we'll leave it up to spirit. In fact, I'll probably just do it on camera. I might as well. You'll know one way or another what they think. All right. I'm not going to bother with my second camera because I'd have to do a whole setup change with that shit, and I can't be bothered. Should I post this video when I've finished? Oh, they've all gone mental. Oh, they've all gone mental. There's some good with the bad. I'm going to just do it again. More good than bad, but I don't want a barrage of freaking cards. Should I post this video when I finished? Hmm. Well, that one didn't come out the first time, which is kind of strange, but I guess it's just an amalgamation of the cards. There was about 6. One was the Emperor, one was... I can't remember what they all were now. They were quite positive. One was Ace of Cups. And then this one is the Wheel of Fortune, which I always equate to karma. It's always like a turn of luck, things changing. Usually in your favour, really. It's like things are changing. It's the next tide, the next chapter. So that's a positive card in general. So yeah, I would assume based on what the Wheel of Fortune you would say is a positive card. So yeah, which is strange because they were overloading my system not too long ago, about 10 minutes ago. If I go back to that space, I wonder what I was talking about because I do wonder whether it was something specific and they're warning me. Of course, system could be doing anything else. It could just be a system update, but it's kind of strange that it's happening when it did happen. It doesn't normally do that. Is there anything else Spirit wants to add? Oh, oh, recognition. But that's like spotlight, but it's also recognition, victory recognition. So that's interesting. And community in the back. So yeah, it's just really important to speak. I think it's important to speak up on topics. I think, but at the same time, there's always this balance to be had between, standing up for yourself, but then also being aware of the ramifications to other people. See, the other person I thought was entirely rude, and yet I'm sort of like, obviously through spirit this time, I wasn't rude in the last video, to be totally honest. There's a level of accountability, but spirit sort of made me readdress it and not include that person in specifically. Upon hindsight, it makes more sense to do it that way, actually, yeah. Because you don't know how strong someone is, you don't know their mindset, and targeting people is not really the best thing to do anyway. But at the same time, I think it's understanding that when you target someone, they have the right to target back. So if you don't like things being said, then don't say it, because they have the right to say it back too, don't they? And that's the thing. So, yeah, so for me, it's all about accountability. So if you want to be respected, then be respectful. If you want to be liked, be kind. It's not really hard, is it? It's be a reflection of what you want in life. So if you want misery in your life, and you want people to treat you horrible, then keep treating people horrible, because that's what you'll get. Anyway, we'll leave it there.